Hey everybody, so today I figured I would give you guys a drum tour of my drum set. In all my videos, maybe not all, but most of them, I know the setup has changed a good amount, I would say. I'm not sure about the recent ones. I think the recent ones might have a similar setup style, but now I have my setup the way I want it. I'm comfortable with it. I figured I'd show you guys. Alright, so with the first drum, my two rack toms that I have right there, obviously, those are Yamaha rack toms that I got for $100 with the little mounts included. I got that for $100. I got actually that whole blue tote bin full of stuff for $100, and it came with that Yamaha clamp that you see right there. It came with this pearl boom stand. It came with a bunch of other stuff that I'm not using. It also came with a whole mount post thing. I got all that for $100. The guy said he just wanted to get rid of it because I offered him $100 just for the toms, and then I started seeing other stuff that I wanted, and I said, hey, can I get more? And he goes, just take the whole thing for $100 and I'll be happy. Right now these are Yamaha Stage Custom Advantage Novu rack toms. Nove, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but yeah, you can look that up, whatever. So this one right here, it is a 8 round by 7.5 deep, and I'm pretty sure it's actually 7 inches deep. I measured from the rim itself to the other rim, so I believe it's 7 deep. Same with this one. That's a solid number, not a half number. And then this one is a 10 round by 8 inch deep. I wrote down 8.5, but I believe it's 8 inches, as I said, because I measured from the rim down to this rim. So I believe it's, a whole number, not a half number and everything. This is a D-Drum Diablo floor tom. It is a 14 by 14 floor tom. And then moving over to this one, this is a Mendini floor tom, 16 by 16. This is still part of my first drum kit that I have gotten like 3 years ago. That's the blue kit that you've seen in, I think, all my videos. And then moving over to the bass drum, that's also a Mendini bass drum. It is a 22 round by 16 inch deep bass drum. And then for my snare drum that I'm using, it is a Pearl Joey Jordison 13 round by 6.5 inches deep snare drum, and it still has the S logo on it, which is really cool. I'm happy I got that. And it also came, I bought this drum used, of course. I didn't buy it brand new. It came with Pure Sound snare wires, which I thought was really cool, and I'll get to the heads and all that later. I got this drum and a few other of my items that I have here from a website called Drum Flip. He's located out in Vista, California, so go check out his website, and if you're around there, go check out the shop, and I'll have a link in the description below if you want to go check out his shop. Now for my heads, as you have seen so far, they're all pretty much different heads. They're all Evans. So, well, besides the 2 Rezo heads for the floor toms, but everything else is all Evans. I plan on changing those just, later. But for right now, for the rack toms, both of them, I'm rocking Evans hydraulics, and they're the blue ones. And they sound alright. I don't know, they're not for me. I was just experimenting with different heads. And then for the Rezos, I don't know if you can see well, but I have Evans Genera Rezos. As I said, I was experimenting with sounds. They don't sound the best, but sound whatever, and I'm not good at tuning, so I could care less. And then moving over to the floor tom, that has a Evans black chrome. I bought this drum used, and this is the head that came with it, because the listing had both the stock heads, just the D-drum stock heads listed, and when it came with a black chrome, so I was happy about that. I wasn't complaining. So I'm fine with it. I feel like this thing is it's a little bit too thick for my liking. This doesn't sound good. It's hard to tune with such a really cheap, thin Rezo head. I'm not really trying that hard, but, it's whatever. It came with it, I don't care. And I use it's a little window cling. You can find them at schools or something. Get them at the dollar store. You can put them on, and it works well as Moon Gel. It's just a lot cheaper. That's what I use. And then for this one, this floor tom, I have an Evans EC2, and for the bottom for this and that for the Rezo, they are still stock heads. I just haven't changed them out yet, just because money wise, and I'm not concerned about it. So moving over to the bass drum, I have an Evans EMAD with the thick muffling ring, and I also have an Evans Rezo head that has a porthole in it, which you can see. That one I got as a package for Christmas, so I don't know anything else about it. And then I also have an Evans EQ patch, I believe is what that is, for a double pedal, just to help protect the head a little bit. And then for my snare drum, I have an Evans hybrid head, which I've used hybrids in the past on another snare that was a cheaper snare off Amazon. It sounded pretty good for a cheap snare. This one's a little bit more expensive. Sounds really good. It sounds like a piccolo, just a lot deeper. And then on the bottom, I have an Evans Snare Slide 300, a clear one, just plain clear, not coated or anything with that. And then it also has Pure Sound snare wires, which is just a classic regular Pure Sound. It's not the special, you know, with the middle taken out. It's just a plain kind. So here is my Pearl Joey Jordison signature snare drum. I figured I would show this off just a little bit more because I know people are very interested in what snares people use and what bass pedals. So I figured, you know, I do like this. It's very cool. It has the S logo on there, which I do like because I think Pearl still does make these. They just don't make them with the S logo because Joey is not in Slipknot anymore. This thing, it was bought used. I mean, you can probably tell how it looks. It is kind of scratched up and everything up here. But I mean, the throw off still works very fluently. Very fluently. And that's just, you know, I have the strainer as tight as it goes. That still works very, very well. Here's my other snare that I actually just got this today. So I've been messing around with it for a little bit. I think I found the sound that I like from this. This is a Marc custom drum snare. It's from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which is actually where I'm from, so I pronounced it correctly. It is a 14 by 5.5 snare. It's a 10 lug snare, and I've never ever owned a 10 lug snare. Even the Joey one, that is a 10. I think it's an 8 lug snare, and this is a 10. So I never ever owned a 10 lug, so it's really cool. The finish on it is amazing. I love that sparkly gold. It looks amazing to me. I do like the tension rods. They're not offset, but they're offset. You know, when they're not, you know, they're not like that, but they're this. I really do like that. I think it looks really cool. I didn't even notice that in the pictures when I got it. I just saw it look so cool, and it's from where I live, so I just had to buy it. But the tension rods make it look so much cooler. It's so clean. I'm not sure what the hoops are. I don't know if they are triple flange or 2.3. I'm not 100% sure. I'll be honest, I really have no idea what that means with drum hoops. So, sorry. The throw off is very nice. I think this is just a regular Marc throw off by the company. I'm not sure. I believe it is. I believe the butt plate, I think that might be a DW butt plate. I'm not 100% sure. But the throw off is, I believe, by Marc. It's a very, very nice throw off. It's very smooth. It's very easy to set up, as I can't set it up. It is very nice. It sounds very nice. And as I said before, I believe that might be a DW throw off, or not throw off, butt plate. I think so. I'm not sure, because I got this from Drum Flip too. But if you take it away, it's a 3-piece, so there's only one rack tom, and I think the mount for the rack tom was DW and the floor tom legs are DW. So I could be confusing that with the butt plate. I'm not sure. It could be Marc because it kind of looks like this one, so I believe it might actually be a Marc throw off butt plate. I'm sorry, but you know, whatever. It's still a very nice drum. I love this. It's a great snare drum. It sounds amazing. I haven't played it enough just to get that perfect sound out of it, but I love it. And it came with an Evans power sensor reverse dot. I never owned this head before by Evans. I didn't even know they make this kind. I've owned one of the center dots, but never this one. But it sounds very nice. It is a coated head, as you can hear, so it does sound very, very nice. And on the Rezo side of that snare drum, it came with a Remo Ambassador snare side. Now, I'm not a Remo person, I'm an Evans person, but I mean, I'm going to use this until I upgrade it, and it's fine for me now. I really could care less. But I will probably upgrade at one point, but right now I don't care. And again, it came with Pure Sound snare wires, and these are the Blaster series. So I'm not really 100% what Blaster is. I think it might be a tighter sound or a different snap. I'm not really sure. They sound great. It came, now I don't know if these are Pure Sound straps. I'm not 100% sure, because I know they usually come with straps that have this. It has a little measuring guide on it. So I don't know if those are Pure Sound or not. It could just be whatever he had. But this thing is really, really cool looking. Not really sure what that stamp is. I don't know what it says. It sounds great. And I can't remember the specs of this, if what it's made out of and stuff, but I'll try to put that in the video later. But the thing sounds great. I'm happy with it. So, yeah. So now I'm going to go through all my cymbals, and every now and then I do like to switch up the cymbals, so I will go through different ones that I've used. So I'm just going to go left to right, not in any size difference. So right now for my hi-hats, I have 13-inch Zildjian AAX fast hats that I also got from Drum Flip, so, you know, check them out. For a splashdown here, I have a 10-inch Zildjian XSR splash, and it has holes drilled in it because I just didn't like how it sounded, and I figured that might help, which it kind of does. I might drill a little bit more, maybe out here or something, but, you know, it's cool, and it works. It's a splash, that's all I care about. Then right here, I have a Zildjian S Rock Crash, which I got that one for Christmas, so I was very happy. And I used to use, in place of this, I used to use a 18-inch Zildjian Zbt Crash Ride, which was very, very thin, and it started to crack only after a few months of using it. And I was told that the cymbal was brand new, but I don't believe it was brand new. I mean, it might have been brand new, but it was just sitting somewhere because it didn't look very clean, it looked very dark. That cymbal, I believe it was just sitting in a garage somewhere. It was very, had a lot of patina spots and everything, so I don't know. But anyways, I got this, so I'm very happy. It's a very glassy sound, if that makes sense. It's very bright, but I like it. It sounds cool. And then up here, I have a 18-inch Wuhan China cymbal. As you can see, there's a giant crack right there, and then along right here, there's a crack right there. This is just, a backup china that I had. This used to be my main china, and then I got a different one. And I put this one over here just to have fun. Because I saw, I think it was David Silveria, the old drummer for Korn. He had one kind of sitting right up here, right around this area. And I just go, oh man, I want to try that. So I tried it, and it worked. I like it, and I don't really need a new one. It doesn't really matter. I don't use it that much. But it's fun to have there. It's fun to play with. And then over here, I have a 10-inch Vinyl Classic Custom Dark Splash. I got this one, I believe, for Christmas one year. I'm not really sure when, but this thing sounds really nice. And I mean, despite the name and the color, it's not a very dark splash. It's a very quick decay, but I wouldn't consider it to be a dark cymbal or like a dry cymbal. It's kind of in the middle. It sounds very good. I do like it, so I would recommend this, because for me, I've heard a lot of demos before on many people's different channels, and a lot of the darks don't sound very good, but the splash does sound very good, so I would invest in that. It's not very expensive, so buy it. If you don't like it, you can always sell it yourself. Over to my next crash, my main crash, is a Vinyl 18-inch medium crash, Classic Custom. I bought this one by myself, my own money. This is my first real crash that I had. I used to use some old Paisty 20-inch ride, I think it was, that I used as a crash because it was very thin. So I used that till it cracked. So I bought that with this one with my own money, and it sounds really good. I like it. It's very bright, but it sounds good. I like bright crashes. I think crashes should be bright versus any other cymbal. And then down to my auxiliary hi-hats. They're just 13-inch Zbt High Hats. They're cracked right there, and the bottom one is cracked just like that. I got ZBTs in a pack a couple months ago, and it was $100 for that, or $100 for a 16-inch A custom crash. So I bought that instead. I feel like this is worth more money than one crash cymbal that's 16-inch. I don't like 16 inches. I like 18-inch crash cymbals. But I like these. These are good as auxiliary hi-hats, and ZBTs aren't that bad. Along with Sabian B8s, they aren't that bad hi-hats. So if you want some cheap pair of hi-hats that are practice hats, get these. These work out well. Now to my ride cymbal. I am using a 20-inch Zildjian Rock Ride. I also got this one from Drumflip. I do like it a lot. I would like to change my ride again. This is very pingy. It's too thick to crash on, which is a disappointment. I would like to have a ride I can crash instead of getting a third crash cymbal. But hey, it's worth it. It sounds good and I'm not complaining. So this cymbal is my main china. It's a 18-inch Sabian B8X cymbal. The stamp's on the bottom, so I'm not going to show that. But this thing, it's a standard B8 cymbal. It's just redesigned, supposedly. It sounds pretty good. I mean, if you need a china, if you need a practice cymbal, good practice china, this will work well. But, it's not the best, but not the worst. And I'm happy with it. And the last set of cymbals I use is I recently got this from also Drumflip. It is a 16-inch SBR Sabian stack. On the bottom is a 16-inch china over top of a ozone, and they're both SBR, and they're both 16 inches. This was brand new. It was worth it, I think. I've never owned a real stack before. I had a stack that I made customly, and it sounded pretty good. This one, I feel it sounds a little bit better. It's a little bit bigger, so it's more fuller. But I do like the sound of it, and it's great when it's open, very, very loose. It sounds great like that. So if you see one of these, get one, because I think it is worth it. It can sound great with professional line cymbals. It's really good. That I use, I'm going to go all through the stands, the pedals, my sticks, everything that I use. I'm going to go through everything that I can see, that I can think of. So right now I'm going to start with the hi-hat stand. The hi-hat stand is a PDP 800 two-leg stand. I got that used off Reverb. On the bottom of the, I guess it's the footboard on the bottom, there's Velcro on there, so it helps stay on, which is pretty good. I like it. It works well as a stand. There's tension adjustment down there, so I do like that. There's a tension adjustment right there. For my pedals, now I'm not sure if you can see this right now on the video screen. I cannot. It is very dark, so I am going to turn on my phone light for you guys. I don't know how well you can see, but for my pedals I use Tama Speed Cobras 910. It's the double pedal version, and it's the, I guess, the updated version of it, because there are another pair of Speed Cobras are a little bit cheaper, and there's some design features that are different. These are the, I guess, upgraded, more expensive version. And the beaters I'm using, I think those are the old Iron Cobra beaters. I'm not really sure, or the old Tama beaters, you could say. I don't like the AccuStrike beaters. They're too heavy. These ones are pretty light, and I do like that. So that's the hardware and pedals I use. So this thing is, I know it's a Gibraltar clamp, the clamp and the rod itself. This is Gibraltar and this is Gibraltar. It's just a little L rod that holds my splash up. I'm not really sure what the part name is called, but that's what that is. And for most of my cymbal stands, and all my cymbal stands are boom cymbal stands. It's just only one is, or two are not boom, but they're all boom stands. I like boom stands better than straight stands, because you never know when you're going to need a boom stand. But anyways, so this stand, and the stand that has my china and my stack, those are all PDP 800 stands, all boom. These are very sturdy stands, and I mean, this one has a boom out kind of far, and this is extended pretty far, and it has a china on it. I don't use it, this isn't my main, but it works really well. It's very, very sturdy, and it's not anchored to anything down there. It's just sitting flat on the ground, so it works well. This is also a PDP 800 stand, and this one has my 10-inch splash, my model. This one is a Pearl BC 830 stand. Sorry, I had to read my notes. I bought this one because it has that gearless tilter, or I think they call it a unilock tilter or something. But this is gearless, so it can go in any position, anywhere with no teeth. I guess that's 2 tiers or 3 tiers. Here and here you can change. This, I would say, is good for a splash or small cymbals. It's not good for, chinas or big cymbals that you're going to be using a lot. It's not what that's for. So I'll go over to the other stands that have legs. This stand right here is another PDP 800. And this is my main china, and this is similar setup style to my other china. That, I would say that works pretty well. It does move a little bit, but I mean, I have it positioned to where, you know, this is straight out. It's positioned to where the leg is facing that way, so it does provide support, but it doesn't move that often. This one is an 800 stand that has my stack. That one is just not boom, just because how I like it. And this one that has my ride is a PDP 700 stand. That was my first boom stand I ever owned. That is good for maybe 16-inch crash cymbals that you want to boom, or anything smaller, not anything bigger. It will fall over. And I know down here, to where it would grip down here, it likes to spin a lot, just like that. And I have that turned pretty tight, and that likes to spin a lot. So be aware of that if you own that. Now this came with my Yamaha rack toms I bought. This is the Pearl Unilock. I guess this is their upgraded version or something, or it's one that's more expensive, I'm not sure. So this one in here, you can't take the boom out because of this little rubber piece, and you can't put it in the post. I don't really like that idea. Not too keen on that, but hey, I'm not them, so whatever. And I got it technically for free, so I'm not complaining. But it's nice. This is Unilock, so it can go in any position you want. It is legless, so it's kind of nice because I have it on my drum rack, which I'll show you in a minute. But I do have it off of a Yamaha clamp that came with the rack toms. It probably goes for like 20 bucks. There's nothing special, it's just a plain clamp. And then for my hi-hats, I have a Gibraltar X-Hat clamp. I'm not sure the name. It's probably the first one you see. Right here, this one is gearless, and this one's gearless up here too. So it can be put in any position you want, and there's no gears, no teeth in there. This is the only one that has teeth. Other than that, nothing else. The other two do not have teeth, which is really cool. I like that. And then going for my drum rack. I'm sorry if I'm stopping and starting again. I'm trying to get up and get around everything. For the drum rack, it is I gotta find on my notes. I apologize. It's a Gibraltar GMPR. It's the Gibraltar multi-purpose power rack. It's just a single crossbar, 2 downs with the feet. That's all it is. It comes with 2 memory locks, not memory locks. And it comes with memory locks to use. Comes with everything you need. It's a very easy thing to set up. I got this off of Reverb, and it came in a Gibraltar box, but there were no instructions. But it's not that hard to set up, so it shouldn't be hard. It comes with one of these, which is pretty cool. But it works very well. It's very, as far as it is sturdy. It does, yeah, it moves, but I'm moving it. And it does hold very well. It holds those 2 Yamaha Toms and this crash and hi-hat configuration. And it holds it very well. It works well. I've had my ride cymbal on here before, and I've had a china on here before, just messing around with different ways to set it up, and it holds very well. It moves a little bit, but it holds very well, and I'm very happy with it. Because I used to use just a regular leg stand with the Toms, and the Toms had to be probably like over here. I wasn't a very big fan of that because they were far over, and I wasn't happy with that. So I mean, that is, I believe, all the hardware that I use. And now I'll be going on to the other miscellaneous items I use for hearing and all that other stuff. I forgot to include my drum throne in the hardware portion of this. So the drum throne itself is a Gibraltar 6608 heavy drum throne. It's a motorcycle or tractor style throne, which is very nice. It's better than the round ones I've had. The post, and which you can't see, but it's a hard, solid metal with the posts. It's very sturdy. I like it. It's better than my old Mapex. And then the backrest is just a Gibraltar GUBR backrest, a universal backrest that'll fit on any throne you have. That is probably not, you know, the one with the handle or the spiral ones. But it's very well, works well. Has a nice, you can move that up and down. You can move it in and out from right here. And this part is a cloth kind of feeling. So if you do play without a shirt, it's not that leather, so it won't, you know, stick to you if you're sweating. And this will just kind of, you know, keep you nice. It's nice and soft. So if you're sweating, again, it won't stick or anything like that. It'll just kind of absorb it, and it's a nice cloth. So that's very nice. So another accessory, I guess you could say, that I use for drums is the cymbal sleeve that's called Cymbal. And what it is, there's a bearing in here, or I guess multiple bearings in here, that right there, which you can see that spins, that let your cymbals spin a lot more than traditional cymbals. I use these on both my crashes to help protect the cymbals, so in every hit is somewhere different. And I've learned, because you always hear people say to sweep or swipe when you're hitting a cymbal, and this will definitely help with that. And to prove it, and I use these on both my crashes, as I said, and to prove that, you know, it does spin a lot more, here's my ride cymbal, which is, you know, it's spinning pretty good, and it wasn't a hard of a spin, but it's spinning, it's already slowing down, and it has stopped now. And here it is on my other crash cymbal. And that was about probably the same power I used to spin my ride, and that's still spinning, and it's spinning a lot faster and more freely. And as I said, there are bearings in here that help spin. I like these. These are not very expensive, I believe. I think maybe it's around 12 bucks or something. But anyways, you can look them up on Amazon. I think they come in 2 packs or even 3 packs, or at least on their website they come in packs. And the guy who makes them, he's from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which is really close to where I live, so of course I'm going to support him. But these things are very cool, and I do believe they are helping protect my cymbals. And I would like to get another one for my ride cymbal, so you can get different sounds out of it. And there's other accessories that I've seen from other smaller companies make. You can put, and it sticks kind of up and out with little jingles here, and you can spin in your cymbal, and it, you know, jingles around, which is really cool and everything. So I want to get one for my ride cymbal at least, and then I'll be happy with my Cymbals. But I mean, that's still spinning, and that's going to spin for another 5 minutes. So I suggest you get one of these. And I'm not, you know, he isn't like, you know, sponsoring me or helping me out with this video or whatever. This is just my appreciation for small drum companies that I have. That's why I'm so in depth with this. So I would recommend getting Cymbals. And the only thing I would say about Cymbals that are probably negative is the cymbal felts that come with it. This is a cymbal felt that comes with the Cymbal. I feel like the cymbal felt is kind of big. So if you have a smaller one, a smaller felt, definitely switch it out, so you have more of a sleeve to protect your cymbal from, and it can move around on it more, and then you can just put, you know, the felts on top. And then for both crashes, I do use Tama cymbal mates, or I'm sorry, I believe Tama. Yes, they're pronounced Tama. I call them Tama. I just use that for my 2 crashes because of the Cymbals. You know, they do spin the felts, as you can see, so it would spin regular wing nuts. So I use these, which is a little bit more stability versus a regular wing nut. Alright, everybody, thanks for watching this. If you made it this far, I hope you enjoyed it. Now, I'm not used to being, I guess I'm in front of the camera, I'm not used to being in front of the camera when speaking, so that's why if I stop and pause and just, there's a silence, or I'm just, you know, rambling on about this and that, I'm trying to think what to say, so I'm not used to being in front of the camera. So I hope you can, you know, right now I don't know what to say, I hope you can figure out what I'm trying to say, and I will try to add, you know, subtitles and stuff like that in the video just to make it clearer, and I'm going to try to cut everything up just to make it easier to watch and stuff. But I do hope you enjoyed this video, and I do plan on sending out more videos. I'm not going to make them more frequent. This is just, as I said in the beginning, it's just drumming is a hobby for me. Right now I'm just focused on just getting a start in life and getting somewhere. I'm not worried about being in music. But as I said, it's a hobby, and I'm just having fun, and YouTube is just something I like to do just so people can see my videos and just to have fun. I'm not doing this to try to make money or anything like that. I'm just having fun, and I find it fun just to mess around with the videos and everything. So that's why I did this, and that's why I didn't have a lot of uploads on my channel. But I do hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next upload. Later.